Hi everyone, it's time for another card. This is actually the third time I've tried to film this video. For some reason I'm having issues with my camera, but we're going to give this a try. If I don't make it on this take, we may wait until tomorrow. Today's card is a beautiful card. Actually, I did two different colors because we're featuring the new metallic 12 by 12 paper. And I did one using the bronze. And then I did one using the copper, and this is actually the one we're going to be doing today. So the metallic paper, you'll find it in the new 2020 August to December mini catalog. I think all of you have a copy of that. If not, you can just contact me and I'll make sure that you get one. We have in the packet, there is a beautiful bronze color, and this, I know this is really shiny and probably driving you crazy. I'm sorry, my lights are picking up in it. And then we have a gold, which is a very light burnished kind of gold. And then in the card that we're doing today, we're actually using the copper, which I think is absolutely beautiful. The stamp set and bundle that we're using is called, the stamp set is In the Pines. Again, it's a very nice bundle. It has a season's greeting and a thinking of you, and then all these beautiful pine trees. This is a two-step stamp set, which means you stamp the outline and then you fill in with either a lighter version of the same color or a different color. And then the dies that go with it are called pine woods, and you can cut out all the trees and even put some embossing and stuff inside the trees. Today we'll be using the large tree just to cut out our images, and the small tree to cut out our images. And what makes the paper look so beautiful is this stunning, as far as I'm concerned, embossing folder. It is called Evergreen Forest, and it's just all these beautiful evergreens, and some of them look like they're in the front and some of them look like they're in the back, and that really shows up on the foil paper. So in your packet, you will have a card base of basic black. It's our normal A2 size, which means it's 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. We have two Sahara sand mats. These are 4 by 5 1/4. Your metallic paper mat is actually 3 3/4 by 5, and you have a couple. You have a little bow that I would make for you if you decided to order a packet. And then we have a little strip of Sahara sand that we're going to be stamping our greeting on, and this is about 3/4 by 2 3/4, and we will be punching the ends of this. And then you also need a scrap of Sahara sand to stamp the trees on. So we're going to do all of our stamping, get that out of the way first. Pray that my camera keeps working. So to begin with, you will take the outline of your tree, and we're using 2 ink pads. This soft suede is a bit darker. It'll be the outline of our trees, and then we will be filling it in with Sahara sand, which is a lighter color. I have a pad underneath because these are photopolymer and there's no rubber backing on these, so they need a little bit of extra cushion to stamp the way we want them to. So we're going to ink this up. And we will stamp it down. Put some pressure on it because there's a lot of detail in this stamp. And that's our big one. We'll do the same thing with the smaller one. We'll ink it up. And we'll put it down on our paper. Again, putting some pressure on it. Okay, that's good. Now we have our little strip that we're going to actually punch first. We'll be using the lovely Labels Pick a Punch, and the nice thing about this is you can actually get 6 labels out of here if you want to, but it has 2 different way that finishes off the top. Today I'm going to use the straighter one. I don't want it to be too fancy. This happens to be 3/4 of an inch. You can do 3 different sizes in this punch, all the way up to an 1.5 inches. So here we go. We're going to stick it all the way in. Now I turn them over because this punch seems to be a little bit hard to get it to go in totally straight, although this looks pretty good. And we will just punch. Take it out. Stick in the other side. The other end, rather. All the way back until it won't go any further. Turn it over. Make sure that it's lined up pretty good. I'm going to push it over just a tad. And punch. And then you have nice finished ends on your punch. Took me a little while to learn this punch, but now that I've got it down, I do really like it. Then our greeting for the outside is it says, if loving thoughts could heal. Again, we're going to use the soft suede because it's darker. Now this is a pretty tight fit, but it does work out just fine, and hopefully I can get it stamped. If not, I do have an extra one that we can use. There we go. That's not too bad. And on the inside layer of our card, we're also going to be stamping some more trees. We're going to be doing a 3 little trees. Again, that'll be in the soft suede. And it will go down here in this corner. And we will also be putting them on our envelope. We'll have to fill those in, but I want to do the inside saying. So the front says, if loving thoughts could heal. The inside says, you'd be better already. So we'll put that on our piece that's going on the inside. Again, try to get it somewhat straight. Okay, there we go. Now we have to do the fill-in part. So we'll close up our soft suede. And we will get out our Sahara sand. So what you do is you take the fill-in stamp, which looks a little bit different. There's no trunks or anything on it. Now this is a pretty watercolory type stamp, so if you don't get it lined up exactly, it's not a problem. And it is a little bit hard to get them exact. So I just kind of aimed for the top, kind of tried to get the bottoms as best I could and stamp down. And you kind of fill it in. It's not too bad, actually. Then we'll do the inside layer of our card with the same stamp. Again, we're trying to fill this in and try to get it somewhat within the outline image. Okay, that's not too bad. It's a little harder on this table because I'm kind of far away. Like on my other table, I just lean right over it and can usually get it pretty good, but it's okay. On this one, I just kind of line up. I can see a few of the branches, and I line up that. And then we'll do the inside, the smaller tree. Okay, so there are them all with the filling on the inside. Now what you would normally do, and I've actually already done this so that I could save a little bit of time on this video, but you would take your framelits, line them up. It's pretty easy. They line up pretty well, and take it over to your Big Shot and run it through the Big Shot. I'm not bringing my Big Shot over here, so I've already pre-done those, but you all have done that Big Shot work before. So here are the two that I have already done. Okay. So I think we're done stamping. We're going to close up our ink. Stuff all over this table you would not believe. Okay, so I think what we'll do first of all, we'll put our inside layer down. I'll get rid of this because we're done stamping. We're going to use a stamp and seal on this part. And this will go on the inside of our card. Are you enjoying the little bit of cooler weather? I am. However, I hear Tuesday it's going to be really cool, and I'm not quite so sure that I'm totally ready for that yet. So now we're going to take our embossed metallic sheet and we're going to place it down on our Sahara sand layer. And for this, since it is embossed and I'm not using the liquid glue today too much, I'm going to use my Stamp and Steel Plus because when you emboss something, you have a lot of little gullies and stuff that you want to fill in with adhesive, and so I want to make sure that we get this on our card front and that it's going to stay there. I'll even put a little bit in the middle. Stamp and Seal Plus is very sticky. If I'm making boxes or any kind of 3D projects, that's what I'm using now. So we will put this on here. Line it up. And since it is such a heavily embossed folder, I am going to just run along the edges. I don't want to do too hard because I don't want to smash my embossing. But I am going to run along here. Okay? And then we can actually put this on our card front. Oh, no, I'm sorry. We have to put our ribbon on. Almost forgot. So I'm going to run some Stamp and Steel Plus down here. Excuse me. I'm going to take this beautiful black ribbon. And I'm going to put it about, probably a half an inch or so from the bottom. Maybe more like an inch. Wrap it. Pull it to the other side. Make it taut, pretty tight. Wrap it. Take my scissors. Trim it off. Okay. Now we can put it on our front. So again, I'm using Stamp and Seal, not the Plus. This is just smooth paper. Going on smooth paper, so it should have no problems holding. Put a little bit across the ribbon. I want to send a card out and then have them keep it for a while and find out if the layers start falling off. This new adhesive that Stampin' Up! Has come out, it is so much better than what we had before. It does have a bit of a learning curve to use it, but boy, I recommend it. Okay, so we have the inside done, we have that done. Now what we have to do is do our trees, and as I said, I have already cut these out. I am going to trim the stems off just a wee bit. I don't want them quite that long. We will be putting this big tree down flat. And I'm going to use my liquid glue on this just because it's going to go over all of those embossed trees. And we'll be putting it just about right there. I don't want the stem showing. Now, the one thing you want to be sure that you don't do what I just did. When you're working with glue on foil paper, you don't want it to ooze out because it will leave a mark on your paper. Hopefully this won't be too bad, but you probably can see how I have a little bit of a mark there where I had excess glue right there. So you want to be really careful with that. And I should have used dry glue. That probably wouldn't have happened. So now for the little tree, we're going to actually pop that one up with dimensionals as soon as I get my pen back in my glue so it doesn't dry out. So we are going to take some big dimensionals, put down at the bottom and in the middle of this little tree. And then I will use a small one up at the top. And I'm just going to cut a little sliver to put on the trunk of this smaller pine tree. Hopefully. Okay, that is taken care of. No more dimensionals are needed. I'll take the backings off of these. And this is going to go right next to our big tree. Push that down, okay? Now, for our If Loving Thoughts Could Heal, you could put it up here. I'm going to actually put it back down here on the ribbon like I did on my other one just because I like the way that looks. The only issue with that is you have to make sure you get dimensionals top and bottom so it's not just sticking on the ribbon. You want a little bit of it on the to go onto the actual card base. Just in case the ribbon comes loose, you won't have lost everything. Okay, I think that should do it. Take the backs off of these. And we're going to put this on here. I have to give a shout out to an Australian demonstrator, Donna Gray. She actually came up with this card. Mine's just a tiny bit different, but not much. And I liked her so well, I thought, why change it? Let me grab a glue dot here. I didn't bring any glue dots over for put my ribbon on with. Actually, I need to open a new box of glue dots, so we're just going to take a little bit of tear and tape, tear it off. That might be a little bit too much because it's not a very big bow. Stick it down right there. Have to really burnish this because this doesn't like to come up off of ribbon. Go. Take our ribbon, push it down. I might try and cut the, I better get my ribbon scissors. Those are so sticky. I know they're not going to work. And my ribbon scissors are right here. As I say, everything in my room here is within reach, so it's not too bad. If I try not to forget things, but sometimes I was so frustrated not being able to get this done, but it looks like maybe this one's going to work, so hallelujah. Okay, so there we are. We are done with our card. I think it's very pretty. Like I say, I love this metallic paper, and it doesn't take long actually to get it done. So that's it for today. Just a quick update. I've had several of you call me and ask me if I'm going to do a holiday class like we used to do Stamp-A-Stacks at Hobby Lobby. I am going to be offering one in October. It will be at my house. I will do 2 or 3 sessions, whatever is required for demand. I will limit each class to 8 people. I have plenty of room in the house to be able to social distance everybody. And if you want to sit as a group, that's fine too. But if some of you are concerned about being doing the social distancing, I have plenty of room to be able to do that. So it's probably going to be around mid-October. Watch for more details. I will be doing a blog post on this video. And if you have any questions or if you would like packets, please just reach out to me. Let me know. I'll gladly make a packet, or however many you might want. This is a beautiful card, and I'm sure you all have stamp sets that would work for it. So you all have a great evening, and take care, and God bless you. Bye-bye.